that black people come in. So originally I started off with the black, which is the African skin tone, and then anything other than that is the mixture. So I'm showing the relationship and the unity of the whole gamut of the tones that we as a people have in our group. So I didn't want to leave anybody out. Most of my work has been dealing with the super black in terms of skin tone or brown, etc., etc. Now I'm incorporating the elements, like my two daughters, Martha and Liz, who are light complexioned, all right, but we're all part of the same family. And then as a whole, humanities, regardless of race, color, creed, is part of the whole human family, especially those who see themselves as human, because there's a lot of beings that do not see themselves as human, although they are human looking, but with all indication and with their activities and all that, they are not. So what I'm attempting to do is that. Now, this painting here is motherhood, or I could say womanhood. Womanhood deals with a female person that is mature. Anybody can have a baby in terms of becoming a mother, etc., etc. But I think a woman has more responsibility and more maturity in reference to having a baby, taking care of that baby, nurturing that baby correctly. So what I'm doing is honoring motherhood, or you can say womanhood, that I have here. Now I have various symbols in here. And first the symbol is, of course, is the baby. Now what I'm attempting to show here is the mother's love for the baby. Caring and concern, tender loving care. And that's what babies need to thrive and whatever it is, and become human. All right? And so that's what you see with this form here, and that's what you see also with this form over here. And as you can see, I've changed the tone slightly, because when you get a mixture of the lighter skin with the darker skin, lighter skin, it could come out. It could come out any tone. It could come out this tone, it could come out a lighter tone, or it could come out a light tone. That's just the way it is. Now what I've done also is incorporated the fertility doll, or you can say the fertility statue that the Africans have. All right, that goes back thousands of years ago. Some people refer to A-L-B-E-K-U, A-L-B-E-K-E, African, A-L-B-E-K-U-N. Sometimes they call it Africa, but Africans call themselves the African, E-L-B-U-K-E-L-E-N, before they were renamed or misnamed by the Europeans coming in, specifically the Greeks. So here's the fertility figure. I've also have her as a woman, okay, and that's the typical features that she has. And anything that you see may remind you of some kind of alien or all the other kind of stuff, it's a myth, because these are just things that were taken from the African culture and then misdirected in terms of these are the way aliens look, or this is the way something is look. And even these plants, everything that you see, you can find those same type of symbols and designs similar to that in reference to the African culture. So it's nothing that is original in a sense. Everything that you see that is so-called modern day is all copied from something of the ancient past, everything. So, in the background, I played the pattern of Ma'at, M-A-A-T, Ma'at. Ma'at was the goddess of love and justice and humanity and all these other kinds of things. And of course, she's also the first reference to what you would think of as an angel, having wings on the being. And so that's the concept there that was taken from that goes back thousands of years ago. So I'm interplaying this rhythm of my throughout in terms of the background. And I have the mother and the baby, and then the symbolism of fertility. And that's all deals with what I'm involved in doing at this particular time. So again, my art deals with digital art, where I do it on the computer, and then I print it out. I can print out as many copies as I want, and this is done on canvas. That's done on canvas, and canvas is very durable, and it's very expensive too, just like the material and the painting. I also paint on the original surface, because what I'm going to do next, this scene here, I'm going to duplicate it on this panel. This is a wood masonite panel, which is about a half an inch thick, that will be going outside on the side of Cook's Theater. And so I'm going to duplicate that scene. But what I do most of the time, a lot of time, I'll design it, and then I'll transfer the whole image on this. Now this is where I get into getting paint on my hand and crayons on my fingers and pastels, and this is the physical activity that I deal with here. This is all simulated when you deal with a computer. You deal with my computer machine there, which is Epson printer 9800 series, and then further over there you see the computer setup that I have that I use. So these are the things that I do my work with. And then if you moving around the studio, you can see all the things that I have done in terms of my digital art. The ladders here, because I need that to get up when I'm painting, especially on the actual panel. Here are the paintings that I've done, that I've framed and put in a slot. These are ones that I duplicated over and over, because I had to continue working until I got the type of painting effect that I wanted. And once I printed it out, I couldn't go back necessarily and do all the changing directly on that. I had to come up with a whole nother sheet of a piece of canvas, redesign it, make the improvement, and then print it out again. So all these are not mistakes, they are learning experiences. All these that you see, these are the learning experiences that I've done. And then over here you see some of my material. This is what I use in terms of painting the physical bulk of the material with. And what that is, that's nothing more than acrylic. I use acrylic to do the actual physical painting on the plywood here. That's plywood. Actual plywood, a half an inch thick, I think, yeah. And then what I do is prime a white surface on it, then I make my drawing on it, and then after that, I start painting. Now, what I'm about to do, and I got it here, if my daughter could focus in, I've already done the drawing. I'll put it in a light form. This one here I probably use, this is more complete. So this is the same thing that I have up here. Because the panel that I have down at Cook's Theater, the section that I'm going to put it on, it's a 4 by 8 feet.